You ever wake up and know, right from the jump, you're in for a fight you never asked for? That's how my first 2 days in Bayfront Circle went. 48 hours of thinking I'd finally made it, only to find out my retirement paradise came with a pack of clipboard-toting zealots camped at the end of my driveway. I moved down here from Maryland. Yeah, the shipyards, a couple decades spent breathing in engine grease and salt. Sold off my last shares, figured I'd earned a stretch of calm, salt-tinged mornings, nobody to answer to but the weather and whatever was biting at the end of my line. The house was nothing fancy, sturdy colonial bones, weathered cedar siding, bay view wide as a football field. Good bones, but that's not what sold me. What got me was the pier. 70 feet of creaky wood, rusted cleats, planks so warped they looked like the pages of an old book. Built in the early 90s, legal as it gets, and according to my deed, grandfathered in until the tides quit rising. Yeah, well, nobody mentioned it came with a built-in adversary. I was elbows deep organizing sockets in the garage, sweat on my brow, when the HOA showed up, 3 of them, uniformed straight out of a Stepford commercial. Leader of the pack, a woman named Karen Ellington, blonde bob, pastel blouse, clipboard gripped like she was running for office. Flanked by 2 guys who looked allergic to joy. She introduces herself, does the sugar and vinegar thing, tells me welcome, then pivots, laser-focused on my pier. Your dock violates shoreline aesthetics. Needs to be gone by Friday. I stared, sure this was a prank. Ma'am, this pier's been here longer than half the houses on your block. It's legal, permitted, and not even in your jurisdiction. My land's outside Bayfront Circle. She didn't even blink. That's not how it works here. If you live here, you're part of the community. If you don't comply, our contractor will handle it, and you'll get the bill. I should have told her to pound sand, but something about her grin said she'd eat confrontation for breakfast. So I just said, that'll be a mistake. And I meant it. Next morning, I'm triple-checking my paperwork. Deed, zoning maps, LLC docs for the marina, everything notarized and in order, my parcel sticking out of the HOA's territory by a solid 200 feet. I install a camera facing the dock, just in case. Because one thing I learned from Navy contracts, when people like Karen threaten, they're not bluffing, they're making plans. Sure enough, my phone blows up the next day. Miles, my neighbor, mid-60s, always in boat shoes, voice tight as a drum. Trent, you need to get home. There's a crew on your dock, chainsaws out. Karen's there too, clipboard and all. I barely missed a mailbox making that U-turn. 40 minutes later, I see it. 4 men in orange vests hacking apart my dock like it owed them money. Karen standing nearby like she's directing a play called Death of Private Property. 10 feet of dock already gone. My hands shake, not with fear, but with something older, righteous, stubborn anger. Who told you to do this? I asked the guy with the saw. He jerks a thumb toward Karen. The HOA. Got work orders. I pull out my phone, dial 911, and walk onto what's left of my pier. Yeah, this is Trent Langston, 127 Bayfront Shore. Got unauthorized demo on my private dock. Send officers. Karen tries to out-talk me, says they have jurisdiction. I show the cops everything. Deeds, LLC, camera footage. They side with me in about 5 minutes flat. Order the crew off. Tell Karen she's flirting with criminal charges. She's furious, throws one last shot. You're making this harder than it has to be. No, ma'am. This is my land. That dock's older than your HOA charter. The crew slinks away, mumbling apologies. I look at the jagged edge where would met water, splinters shining in the sun. Wasn't just damage. It was war. I call my attorney, Alana. Brilliant, ruthless, takes no prisoners. I want to sue, I tell her. We've got trespass, vandalism, interference with quiet enjoyment. She says, listing off charges like she's reading a grocery list. Good. But the HOA fires back with their own lawsuit. Karen claims my pier is an eyesore, violating visual harmony, tanking home values. She wants it gone, plus $40,000 for reputational damages. As if her neighborhood newsletter is the Wall Street Journal. 2 weeks prepping. Permits, tax records, aerial photos dating back to '94, marina paperwork showing my majority stake in Seawind, half those slips leased to Bayfront residents. Day of the hearing, Karen arrives looking like she's testifying before Congress, brings backup and petitions. The judge, bless him, is immune to drama. He listens, Then lets Alana drop the hammer. Property lines, permits, LLC bylaws. Even the county zoning officer testifying that my dock's 100% out of HOA reach. Our ace? We could revoke marina access to every HOA resident, 7 in total. The judge dismisses the whole HOA claim, warns them to keep their distance. Karen's face. Let's just say, if looks could kill, I'd be Ash on the dock. But this story doesn't end with a gavel. That night, I'm out on the ruins of my dock, beer in hand, feeling, not relief, exactly, but the first taste of resolve. At 3:30 a.m., my phone pings, motion detected, dock perimeter. I check the camera. A man, dark clothes, gas can. He splashes fuel, flicks a lighter, and flames leap up. I'm up, boots on, sprinting, fire extinguisher hissing. Neighbors call 911, but by dawn, a dozen more feet are gone. Fire marshal arrives, reviews the footage. No mask, no hoodie. It's Karen's husband, Harold. Not subtle. He's arrested that afternoon for arson. Karen doesn't show her face, but she wages a new war. Gossip, flyers, Facebook posts. Claims the fire was my fault. Says my unsafe structure nearly set the shoreline ablaze. The online brigade lights up. Some folks swallow her story, but others start to question. Is the pier really outside HOA bounds? Had it been permitted? Was I running a rogue marina? I know what this is. She's not fighting in court anymore. She's fighting in the court of public opinion. So, I flip the script. Call a meeting with all the marina tenants. Present every scrap of legal proof. Then put the question to a secret ballot. Should we keep leasing slips to HOA members, given their actions? Result: over 90% say no. I hold my fire, wait for the perfect moment. Karen doubles down, calls an emergency meeting, shows slides of my dangerous dock, flames and all. But the tide's turning. Neighbors post anonymously, calling her out, even sharing stories of how I've been more helpful than the board in years. Then I get an idea: fight fire with community. I organize an open dock day, food trucks, kids fishing contest, free entry, donations to a local veterans rehab fund. Crowd turns out big, locals, families, even the media. The dock, half rebuilt, holds strong. Laughter, burgers, old-timers telling stories. Karen's deputy Phil lurks at the edge, but even the sheriff's deputy shrugs him off, says, looks legal to me. Then, twist of fate. A dock plank gives way. A kid goes over, tangled in rope. Instinct takes over. I dive, free him, get us both to the surface. Turns out, he's the grandson of an HOA board member. EMTs clear him. Crowd claps. Someone shoves a burger and a beer into my hands. A local reporter catches the rescue on camera. By midnight, the video's viral. Veteran dives into bay, saves kid. Karen tries to twist the story, but the comments roast her. Where were you, Karen? Can HOA presidents get impeached? It's open season. Meanwhile, the fire marshal's report drops. Arson, accelerant, shoe print matching Karen's garage. My footage seals the deal. Harold gets charged, mugshots splashed across the news. Karen's online presence goes dead silent. But there's more. While digging through demolition invoices, my attorney spots that the payment went through a dummy company, funded by a municipal grant meant for shoreline cleanup. They'd siphoned taxpayer money to pay for the illegal demolition. That's federal fraud, not just HOA pettiness. We report it. Subpoenas start flying. Karen, her CPA, the board, all called in. While they scramble, I serve eviction notices to HOA residents leasing marina slips. Some apologize, most just leave. I put up a new sign, Seawin Marina. Private, veteran-owned. Non-HOA. Trespassers prosecuted. The waiting list triples. The final blow? The sheriff serves Karen for wire fraud and misappropriation. The board unravels. Resignations, vanishing treasurers, panic everywhere. A petition to dissolve the HOA passes by a landslide. Now, the dock's rebuilt. Composite planks, steel anchors, tougher than before. A bench at the end, a plaque that reads, burned by Karen. Rebuilt by law. This is not a suggestion. This is property. Locals gather, no speeches, just nods and cold drinks. The boy I rescued sitting beside his dad, tackle box in hand, oversized life vest. He asks if he can help out. I tell him, first rule, wear that vest always. You know what I mean. He grins, runs off. I sit, coffee in hand, watched the sun catch the new planks, the tide rolling in easy. They tried to burn me out, drown me in gossip and legalese. But here's the thing. Where I'm from, we fight with facts, law, and, when it comes down to it, one hell of an insurance policy. The HOA thought they could rewrite the rules, but they forgot who wrote the deed. So tell me, was I right to stand my ground? Or is there a line where the fight just isn't worth it anymore? Drop your thoughts below. Let's see whose side you're on. This story ain't over, at least not here on the dock.